Hello, hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really well this weekend or whenever you listen to this. I just wanted to pop in and share a little personal story because for me personally, I love love hearing what other people's stories of things that are working out, and it's just a really great reminder, even to myself, of just how much things can work out for us when we put ourselves in the position to believe that we're the person that things work out for. And I will be totally transparent and say I have not been that person always, and I've gone through my own ups and downs with that, where yes, I believe it, and then it's not working out. And I will say this year, like for many of you, has put me through the ringer, and really had me questioning some stuff, especially earlier in the year. But what just happened was just like almost mind blowing to me of how things can really shift and work out for us. When we're not trying to control the situations, when we surrender, when we just let go of the idea that it needs to be a certain way. So, long story short, everybody hopefully probably knows at this point that I'm going to Bali soon. And if not, P.S., you should join me inside the Unfiltered Immersion, because I will bring you behind the scenes with me in Bali, as well as just helping you to create things like this while connecting with other amazing people from around the world. I've shared with that about that above. If you're not in it, you want to be in it, and there still should be some free spots because I added some extra ones. But that aside, so I'm going to Bali, and earlier this week I got a notification that the connecting flight in Korea had been changed, and that shortened my layover time, which meant I was not going to make the connection from when I got there from Seattle. I wouldn't have enough time, so they bumped me from the flight and said you have to call and figure out, how to change it. I had called earlier this week. I called once and they said like there's nothing we can do. We were on the phone for like 20 minutes and I had to jump off for a call. I said, okay, well, okay, I'll just I guess call back and try to figure it out later. And at this point I'd kind of said I think I'm just going to have to maybe just wait, because it was technically on standby, so I could have gotten from Seattle to Korea and then just waited and hoped that they put me on another flight. And when I called again, they said, yeah, there's just really nothing that we can do. And then they said, well, there's maybe this one flight, but you would have to, do this. It would have more layovers. It would be more difficult. And I was just like, I don't know. And again, I had like a half an hour. And by the time I finally got through, there wasn't really enough time to figure it out. So I'm just like, I'm just going to let it go. And I had kind of set this aside all week. Normal me would have been, or not normal me, but old me would have been really probably freaking out a little bit, a little anxious, like international flight. I'm going to host a retreat, so I have to go. There's literally no option. There's no option to cancel this flight at this point without disappointing, these people that are coming to Bali on a retreat with me, and who have also paid to be there. But so I'm just like, somehow, some way this is working out, and it's this or better, which, P.S., I mean, I've always kind of had this belief, but just giving a little shout out to my own, mentor and coach, and for just constantly reminding us of that. And it's something that I try to instill in my own clients as well, because we can get so caught up in trying to control the outcome of being like upset by how things are currently going for us, or that things don't work out the way we want them to. And that energy is fucking toxic. Really, it truly is. And it keeps us from the things that we want, that we are actually trying to have work out for us. So anyway, this was all happening. And today I had an amazing meeting earlier with somebody in person, and it was a great coffee date. And then I spent the afternoon with my husband, and I decided, okay, I'm going to call again today. And the first woman that I talked to, and she's just like, yeah, there's just really nothing that I can do. And I said, well, can you get me from Minneapolis? Because I had separate flights, one from Minneapolis to Seattle, and then one from Seattle round trip to Bali with a layover in Korea, and then another separate flight coming back from Seattle to Minneapolis on the return. And I had to do it this way just because I was using miles for two different portions of the flight. And so it was 3 flights that needed to be changed and to all work out and fall into place for this to actually happen. And I get on today, and the first woman, she's like, yeah, I just can't do it. I'm like, well, can you change it to Minneapolis? And she's like, no, they won't let us do that in the system and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, let me get you over to, I don't even remember what the name of the department was, but basically the people that work with their partner airlines, because I booked through Delta. Korean Airlines, which was the flight that got bumped, was a partner airline. And we'll see if they can do anything. And I wasn't very hopeful because of all of these previous conversations this week, but I just kept holding on to that mantra of like, somehow, some way, this is working out. It's this or better. So either I'm going to get on standby and I'm just going to get put another flight, and who knows, maybe I'll end up sitting next to, the person that's going to like love everything I have and is going to like offer me this big opportunity or something on the plane. You just never know. There's always a reason. I believe there's always a reason that things are going to change. And when you don't try to control it, when you just surrender to like, this is just what's happening and it's either going to be this or better, that's exactly what starts to happen. The universe opens up. The opportunities open up for you. So all of this, I called today and I got transferred to this woman who we were on the phone for 2 hours. And we were going through all of these different options of trying to figure out like, okay, she's like, and she was like, I'm just trying to put myself in your position. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is taking so long. You're like, thank you so much. And she's trying to figure it out. And she literally looked at like every major city in the United States for flights to see, can we move it? Because the other people had told me, no, we can't move it to a different departure city. But actually she could, as long as it was available in their system with the partner flights. So she's like, well, we can get you directly out of LA and then we can switch your other flight from Minneapolis to LA and, all of that rather than going to Seattle. So I said, okay, well, after all of this was like the last 10, 15 minutes of the call. And she's like, well, okay, we're going to book this. And then we had to go book the other flights from Wisconsin to California. And she's like, well, the only one there has a layover, and I'm like, well, I don't really love that. I don't mind a layover. But then if that flight gets delayed, then I might miss that connection. And then I might miss the flight in LA. And she's like, and she had mentioned there was an option possibly from Minneapolis. And originally she said, oh, I don't want to make you do that because there'll be multiple layovers. So when she brought this up to me, I'm like, well, actually you had said Minneapolis would have multiple layovers. So you didn't want to do that. But this way I would still have multiple layovers. Could we just put it all on one itinerary? And she's like, yeah, actually I can. And so she was able to change this, get me going directly from Minneapolis. And on top of this flight was actually less expensive. So I received a refund of $150 plus 15,000 of my miles back that I had used to book one of the flights. And because I had booked them separately on the way out there, I wasn't going to get lounge access in Minneapolis because I had not used my Delta credit card to get that access. And on international flights, I'm a gold medallion member. On international flights, you do get lounge access. So I was only going to get it once I got to Seattle. However, and I could have only been in the lounge for 3 hours at a time, even though I had a 12-hour layover. So now with all of this, I saved money, got my miles back, and I get lounge access for the entire frickin' time, and I get an extra day in Bali. Like it literally could not have worked out more perfectly. Plus I arrive that day earlier. It's actually like a day and a half. So I get there in the afternoon. So it'll be like getting to my place that I want to stay at check-in time. And I'll actually be able to like go to sleep at a normal time, have a normal day. And I was going to be coming in otherwise at 1:00 in the morning. So just wanted to share this little example with you because when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to getting the things that you want, when it comes to things working out for you, like you can't avoid the problems. Like you have to just be able to surrender and say, whatever happens, it's going to work out. And it's going to open something up better for us. And this was just such a perfect example of exactly how that happens. So I wanted to come in and share it with you because I think sometimes, we don't see ourselves as the person that things are working out for, or we get caught up on, well, this isn't working, or, oh my God, what if this happens? And if I don't make that flight, then this is going to happen. Or if this gets canceled, then what's going to happen with my retreat? And all of these things, like there's all of these scenarios that I could literally have freaked out about and been anxious about all week. But again, when I saw this, I'm like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to work it out. I'll figure it out sometime later this week. And I had time and I decided to call, and bam. So on that note, if you want to come with me to Bali behind the scenes, which now might have to shift slightly on the days when we're starting, FYI, we're starting the 27th instead of the 28th because I will be on a plane starting the 27th and may not be able to do the voice memos that I wanted to do starting the 28th. So we're starting a day earlier on the 27th in the unfiltered immersion. And we are going to really anchor in your next level identity, your next level embodiment, and you're going to get to do this alongside other amazing people, mostly women, but amazing people from around the world who are in this journey with you, because when we are in that space of co-creation, it just amplifies that energy in the collective. So like this energy that I'm bringing, I want to amplify this out to all of you. And on top of all of that, we will also, it'll be culminating in a virtual retreat / networking event the first week of December. And I would really love to share in this experience with you. So if you have not already, the link is above in the chat here. You can go ahead and register. There should still be some free spaces available. Either way, I just can't wait to see you in there, and I hope everybody has an amazing weekend.